The Vietnam War, a conflict of ideologies. The Vietnam War was a significant conflict that took place from the late 1950s to 1975. It involved North Vietnam and its communist allies fighting against South Vietnam and its main ally, the United States. The war was not just a battle of weapons, it was also a conflict of ideologies, communism versus democracy. After World War II, Vietnam was divided into two parts. North Vietnam, led by Ho Chi Minh, was a communist state. South Vietnam, supported by the United States, aimed to establish a democratic government. Tensions between the North and the South grew, leading to increased conflict. In the early 1960s, the United States became more involved in Vietnam. They believed that if Vietnam fell to communism, other countries in Southeast Asia would follow. This idea was known as the domino theory. As a result, the US sent military advisors and equipment to support South Vietnam. The war escalated in 1964 when the Gulf of Tonkin incident occurred. The US government claimed that North Vietnamese forces attacked American ships. This led to Congress granting President Lyndon B. Johnson the power to increase US military involvement. Soon, hundreds of thousands of American soldiers were sent to Vietnam. The war was brutal and complicated. The fighting took place in jungles, rice paddies, and cities. Guerrilla warfare tactics were common, with North Vietnamese troops using hit-and-run strategies. The US military relied on air power and technology, including helicopters and bombers. However, these advantages did not always lead to victory. The impact of the war was felt at home as well. Many Americans began to oppose the war, leading to large protests and demonstrations. People questioned the US government's decisions and the morality of the conflict. The images of the war, broadcasted on television, shocked many viewers. By the early 1970s, US troops began to withdraw. The Paris Peace Accords were signed in 1973, aiming to end the conflict. However, fighting continued in Vietnam. In 1975, North Vietnam captured Saigon, the capital of South Vietnam, leading to the reunification of the country under communist control. The Vietnam War had lasting effects on Vietnam and the United States. Millions of Vietnamese people lost their lives, and the country faced significant destruction. In the US, the war changed public opinion about government and military involvement in foreign conflicts. The Vietnam War was a complex and tragic event. It involved different ideologies and had profound effects on both Vietnam and the United States. Understanding this conflict helps us learn about the importance of peace and diplomacy in resolving disputes.